Before we get into this special weekend edition of Just the Truth, let me tell you about the latest special from Mike Lindell at MyPillow. The standard MyPillow, normally $49.98, for a limited time only, just $14.88 with promo code Joey. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener specials, and see all the specials. There's a limited quantity of just 10 at this special price. That's $14.88 with promo code Joey. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you ask anyone in the upstate of South Carolina for a recommendation for a good meal, Soby's New South Cuisine will always be on the list. It started over 20 years ago when Carl Sobocinski had a vision for not only creating the best dining experience on that South Main Street of Greenville area, but literally transforming that part of the city. And Carl and his team have done just that. On our guest line today, the owner of Table 301 Restaurant Group, Carl Sobocinski. Welcome, Carl. How are you?
Hey, Joey. I'm doing great. Thanks for having me this morning.
Sure thing. It's always a pleasure. So, Carl, let's go back to 1997 when you first opened your doors of Soby's there in an old shoe store. Some people probably thought you'd lost your mind because not only was the building in rough shape at the time, but that part of town wasn't the best place either. Did you ever think maybe you just miscalculated a bit?
Today, I probably think, what was I thinking back in those days? But back then, and I've used this phrase before, I had three great things going for me. I was young, dumb, and naive, and so I didn't know any better.
So today, 20-plus years later, multiple locations, what does it feel like to reflect on that journey over these past, what has it been, 28 years now, I guess?
Yeah, it'll be 28 years in November, and gosh, there's so much reflection that goes on when something like a grand award is finally achieved. It's one of 97 in the world. And there's been so many people who have had a hand in it over the years, from 3 or 4 chefs that have been at the helm over that time period, 6 or 7 wine directors who have helped grow that from its infancy in day one till just this past spring or summer when we were bestowed with the award. Met so many people, have so many friendships and relationships, and have just continued to enjoy doing this every day and getting up with passion and a desire to continue to help bring great restaurants to this community.
Yeah, and a big congratulations in order, Carl. Again, just recently recognized with the Wine Spectator Grand Award. I mean, only a handful of restaurants in the world can claim that. Talk with us about what this means personally to you and to your team.
Yeah, this is one of those things. It's always nice to go out and compete and win an award, but so many of them, if it's a silver spoon at Fall for Greenville, let's just say you achieve it, you celebrate, you put it on the wall, and then you're kind of like on to the next thing. This has been a work in progress, and I remember in 2017 when the restaurant celebrated 20 years, I spoke with our leadership team and said, I want to earn the grand award for this restaurant by year 25. So we had 5 years. And we began in earnest that year and probably got set back a couple of years by COVID. But we still shot for our 25th year now, and our 28th year. We finally did it. And as you said, it's huge for Soby's, but not only for Soby's, it's really big for Greenville and the state of South Carolina.
Of course. Walk us through that. You said that you and your team kind of talked about this. What does it take to earn this type of award? I mean, this isn't just something that it's not just about your wine list. I mean, this is really elite level stuff. What makes Soby's stand out?
Well, before I say that, let me just read a sentence that we've had on the wall for a long time, and it explains by the Wine Spectator what the Grand Award is. It says, "This is our highest award given to restaurants that show an uncompromising, passionate devotion to the quality of their wine program." And so, as you said, it is about the wine program, but we had an anonymous inspection. They dine, they rate you on your dining experience, on your guest service, and obviously on your cellar. And so after the anonymous diner, we got an email a few weeks later that said, we've been in, we've we had a great experience. Next step in the process is to come and audit your wine cellar. So they set a date, and they came with a list of 15 or so wines that were on the list that we submitted. And that's they have to do that, because you could just create a list and submit it, and you may not have those wines in the cellar. But they came in, we were able to take them to the bin where each wine was, pulled the wine out. It was the right temperature. The labels were perfect condition, and we were 15 for 15 on the audit. No wines were out of stock or anything. So,
wow.
So that was the final step. And then we still didn't know after that, because my assumption, it's a pretty secretive process, but my assumption is there's numerous restaurants that think they're ready for it and apply for the Grand Award. And they typically recognize, 2 years ago they recognized no new winners, but I've never seen more than 4 in 1 year. So yeah. We were on pins and needles. And then finally we got a letter from them that said, you have won. The information's embargoed until June the 20th, and we'll be in touch.
Wow. Carl Sobocinski is my guest today. He is the CEO, founder of Table 301 Restaurant Group, one of those, of course, being Soby's, who was just recently awarded the Wine Spectator Grand Award. And again, this is, I think there were 3 this year, correct?
That's correct. The first one ever in the state of South Carolina. And then the other 2 winners were from the San Francisco Bay Area and the country of France. So putting us on the global stage, it was pretty cool, and we still have goosebumps when we talk about it.
Yeah, and as you should. Again, congratulations, Carl. You've done a lot of great things for the upstate of South Carolina, but this has truly put us on the map. And a lot of people come to Greenville because of how our city has transformed. And look, when you first looked at that shoe store many years ago, and you transformed that, this is not hyperbole here. You transformed South Main Street.
Well, you're kind. It's taken a great team and a whole bunch of us to do it. But it's been fun to have been here the whole time and watch it grow. And I think there's also a lot of excitement around here about the Michelin Guide is actually rating restaurants in both Carolinas right now, and they'll reveal those winners in November. But just like when a lot of people travel, they use the Michelin Guide to see if their recommended or star-rated restaurants are in the city. The same thing happens with the Wine Spectator Grand Award. And so it's already, in just the first 3 weeks, driven people here who have walked into the restaurant and said, we're from Charlotte, we're from Asheville, we're from Atlanta, and we read about this and we want to come see your wine cellar and try your wines. And
sure.
So just like the Michelin Guide will drive traffic here, this will certainly drive people here for a culinary excursion. And that helps everybody, because they're only going to eat with us one night, and hopefully they're going to spend 2 or 3 nights and dine in other restaurants around our city.
Sure. It makes sense. And, of course, Soby's is one of multiple restaurants in the Table 301 family. Before we get into some of the other restaurants, Carl, why Table 301? How did that name come about?
It's a great story. If you've been to Soby's, it's a 2-level restaurant, and at the top of the stairs on the mezzanine that wraps the kitchen, there's a table for 2 at the top of the stairs. And from day one, it was the most requested table. I think up there, guests feel like they're at the chef's table. They're in the kitchen looking down. They can communicate and talk to the cooks and the chef, and they can look out over the restaurant. And to us, that just epitomized hospitality and how we wanted every guest to feel. So when we were looking for a name and a parent company name and brand of the group, we just said, how about Table 301? That's the experience we want everyone at every table to have. And so that's where the name was derived.
Yeah, and that name, Table 301, has become synonymous with good food, good service, and a community partner. You do so much in the community. Let's talk a minute about those other brands then. The Lazy Goat, Nosedive, and one of your newest, which is quickly becoming one of my favorites, Tavola. Is it like having children competing for your attention?
That's a great analogy. Yes, I think so. I only have 2 children, but we have 6 restaurants right
Yes.
now, so there's a lot of competition out there. But over the last several years, what I've enjoyed is starting the newer restaurants with somewhat of an exit strategy and a plan to sell those restaurants in a few years to a hardworking managing partner, a chef or a manager, and turning them into entrepreneurs and creating a legacy for their families. And so we've done that 5 times now, and
Wow.
we intend to do that with several other of the current restaurants. But Tavola we're loving it. I actually was out there last night and had a wonderful meal and enjoyed time with the team out there. You know, I say out there because all of our restaurants are downtown.
Mhm.
Tavola is in Bridgeway Station off 385 in Malden. And what a fun little neighborhood community they've built out there at Bridgeway.
That is for sure, and I got to say, the chicken parmesan is to die for. I mean, it's just amazing. Again, it's becoming our favorite restaurant in that area, of course. You know, a lot of restaurants with me today, Carl Sobocinski, a lot of restaurants don't make it 5 years, much less the close to 28 years that you're coming upon. What do you think has been the secret to your longevity and continued success?
I don't mean to oversimplify it, but I really think it's our people. It's trying to hire people with the hospitality gene and knowing that we could make a mistake. We're human, and something may not come out to the table perfect or right all the time, but it's how we take care of people and how we treat them and how grateful we are that they're with us and choosing to spend their evening or their afternoon with us. So, I mean, you have to have it. There's also 3 components I've always spoken of: the ambiance and the feel of the restaurant, the food and the quality of the food, and then the service and the attention to detail. And so you really have to try to put all 3 of those together. But at the end of the day, human connection is so important, and we try to make sure that guests know we're thankful and grateful that they're with us, and if anything is wrong, we try to solve the problem with compassion and empathy, and welcome them back for another meal at another time.
Yeah. How many employees does Table 301 have now?
We have over 500
Wow.
full and part-time associates on the team.
Wow. But because in addition to your restaurants, you do catering and all too, right?
We do. We have a growing, fast-paced catering business that's expanded. Our operations are here in Greenville, but we're up in western North Carolina in the Cashers and Highlands area almost every weekend for weddings, and are all over Greenville, whether it's an office lunch or a social gathering, rehearsal dinner, wedding reception. It's a fun business for those who like being on the road and bringing the restaurant and the food to the guests and the venue that they're at.
Yeah. You mentioned your team multiple times, and it does take a team, particularly with a business the size of Table 301 and the multiple locations. You know, your restaurants, Carl, they aren't just places to eat. They have become a part of the community here. You've been so involved in so many different things. How important do you feel that component, the community involvement, that connection has been to the success of Table 301?
I think it's paramount, and you know, at a period of time, you know, like most people at every 5 or 10 year birthday, the milestone ones, you start to reflect on a lot of things. And for me, at 45 and 50, I remember reflecting on what we had done, and I'd been in the business. You know, now I've been in the business 35 years. But after 20 or 25 years, you start to wonder, is what I'm doing valuable and impactful? And is there something else I should do, you know, in the next chapter? And at first I started to think, you know, we're just serving meals, we're just serving people. And then you dig deeper into it and you're like, wait a minute, I just ran into so-and-so and they told me that they were engaged in Soby's. And I just ran into so-and-so and he told me that his 3rd child had just had their rehearsal dinner at the Lazy Goat, and that they have memories, and we're helping create those memories. And being a part of, I guess the most important thing for our team is that we're a part of people's best days. Yeah. And sometimes you're a part of their toughest days. But as long as they're choosing to come spend that day and that time with us, then I feel like it's impactful and it's valuable. And makes me proud to be in this industry and be able to be a part of those special moments for people.
Sure. Carl Sobocinski, it's always a pleasure to catch up with you. Again, congratulations on this Wine Spectator Grand Award. I can't tell you just how proud I am of what you've accomplished.
Thank you, Joey. I'll never forget, we all got started together, so please give your family my best, and I look forward to seeing all of you hopefully sometime soon.
Sure thing. Your comments are welcome on the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY. That's 864-477-5639. Email's always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. If you've listened to me over the years, you know how much Peg and I love Jesse and Simon, our two Cocker Spaniels, and we love to support groups who look out for our little furry friends. Rusty's Legacy is one of those groups. Their motto, every life matters, and yes, it does. On our guest line today to talk with us about this wonderful organization is the founder of Rusty's Legacy, Jeri Arledge. Jeri, welcome. How are you?
Thank you so much. I'm great. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate your time. So let's just start at the beginning. Tell us about the name, Rusty's Legacy. Who was Rusty?
Rusty was a dog who showed up. I lived in the eastern part of North Carolina. He showed up at my door after a hurricane, and I took him in. He was just a really special dog, and was I trained him to be a service dog. We went to nursing homes, and he would work with people with dementia. He was just great with them. And at one point, after I had moved back to Charlotte, somebody broke into my house, and my service dog saved my life by getting that person out of my house.
Wow.
So, when Rusty passed away, it became obvious to me that in order to honor him, I needed to work with dogs. And I recently moved to McDowell County in western North Carolina, and had discovered that over 3,000 dogs a year were being euthanized. And upon that discovery, I couldn't sleep. It had come to be my turn to do something about it. And that's how Rusty's Legacy began, was it just very organically.
Yeah. Wow. What a great story. And through Rusty's Legacy, a lot of animals are being saved every year. You're a no-kill shelter. The need is just so big, as you described. Does it get a little overwhelming at times, just thinking about the task that you have?
It does. But what we do is we just put our heads down and focus on what's directly in front of us. And in doing that, we're able to save a lot of dogs. We partner with the Shelter Dog Transport Alliance, and have the wonderful opportunity of sending dogs to our no-kill partners in the Northeast and in Canada, where they do not have the overpopulation that we have. So we send our dogs into well-qualified, very welcoming homes in other parts of the country, and that enables us to save more here.
Yeah. On our guest line today, Jeri Arledge. She is founder of Rusty's Legacy in western North Carolina. You can find out additional information, and if you'd like to support this wonderful organization, if you'd like to volunteer, you can check out their website, rustyslegacync.com, rustyslegacync.com. How many dogs do you have at any given time?
We're licensed for 40. We are a state licensed shelter. So we keep 40 at all times. We have a large foster network where we probably have between 40 and 50 dogs out in the community living with foster families. We as soon as we maintain a pretty long wait list of dogs who need to come in. Of course, the dogs who are stray and endangered are our first priority. We do work with several county shelters and try to pull from them as well to enable them to their mission of taking in animals. So it's a revolving door around here.
Yeah. Jeri, talk with us more about your foster program, what is involved, and if someone who's listening to us today may be interested in doing that, what's involved?
All we ask is that our fosters provide a safe and loving, nurturing environment for our puppies and our adult dogs, where they can learn to be good house dogs, good companions. A lot of our dogs come in, they have been outside on a chain or stray their whole lives. They've never stepped foot in a house. So they have a lot to learn before they are adopted into their forever homes. So we are delighted to accept people who can give us a commitment of 4 to 6 weeks to care and love for puppies and adults. We only rescue dogs here. We're not any other animals. We have a foster family application that is available on our website, which is rustyslegacync.com. People can go on there, fill out a foster application, and one of our volunteers will reach out to them and can get them connected with a dog that would be compatible in their household. The rescue pays for all food, all vaccines, any medical needs. Really what we're looking for are families that can just provide love.
Yeah. Do you have any information, Jeri, as far as the number of foster families who end up being the permanent home to those dogs? I could never be a foster parent because I'd want to keep everyone.
Yep, and we have, it's probably 50% of our fosters do convert into forever homes.
Yeah.
For a lot of people who are looking for the right companion, fostering is a great way to find out if it's like taking a dog on a test drive, and they can find out if the dog is going to be a good fit. And if not, then the dog has gained very valuable experience, and we have gained a great deal of knowledge about the dog. Living in a shelter, we don't see the kind of behaviors and personality that a dog is going to exhibit in someone's home.
Sure.
So it's a win-win whether the dog becomes a forever family member or not. And oftentimes our fosters, through their networks, will place their foster dogs with friends and family. So it really does cast the net wide for our dogs.
Yeah. I can see how that would happen, because if you are fostering this dog, then you become an advocate for it to find it a new home, for the forever home. So I can see how that would work. With me today is Jeri Arledge, founder of Rusty's Legacy. Again, that website is rustyslegacync.com. Go online. You can see photos of dogs who are looking for their forever home. You can get information about the foster care program. Of course, you can also hit that donation button and help support financially as well. Jeri, obviously, you're in the western North Carolina area. You serve that area. How did Hurricane Helene affect your operation and your program?
Thankfully, we are on the side of Lytle Mountain. So we did not experience the devastation of Hurricane Helene as so many did. What we were able to do is to take in the dogs that had been displaced during the hurricane. We took in 52 dogs the week after Hurricane Helene. We put out a plea for foster families, and people from around the region, many of whom did not have power or water, came and took in a dog temporarily to enable us to either locate the owner and get the dog back, or to provide for the dog and get it adopted through our system. So it was a tremendous effort by a very large community to take care of the dogs that came in during Hurricane Helene.
Yeah. You know, it's just amazing. We received damage in the upstate of South Carolina as well, but nothing compared to what our neighbors in western North Carolina did, and we kind of lived through that process with so many of them. One of our sponsors and just dear friends is Ingalls and Melissa Level, and I stayed in touch with Melissa, and of course they had some stores that were heavily damaged, and and their distribution center. So we kind of walked through that with Ingalls as well. But everybody just pulled together, and it was just amazing to watch how people just jumped in to help one another.
Absolutely. It brought out the very best in so many people, and I have to say that we became a hub for food distribution in the area, and we got food from all over the country, and people just showing up with all sorts of donations and wanting to help. And it was just an amazing experience to be a part of that outpouring of love and support for the community.
Yeah. Jeri Arledge is with me on our guest line today. She's founder of Rusty's Legacy in western North Carolina. Jeri, what would you say is your biggest challenge right now?
Our biggest challenge is that the need is so much greater than our capacity to meet that need, and the capacity of the community. Our county shelter is also a no-kill shelter. They stay full. We stay full, and we are supported through donations. So our greatest needs are first financial, because we are bringing dogs in who require a great deal of veterinary care. We spay and neuter everybody. Everyone gets up to date on all their vaccines. If they are heartworm positive, we treat them. We, like during Hurricane Helene, we had a lot of dogs come in with orthopedic injuries. They needed their bones set and other surgeries. So we always have an outrageous vet bill that we're trying to pay. And then our second need really is a need from the community to spay and neuter their dogs. Yeah. We have so many unintentional litters and so many puppies and mothers who come in because of an accidental breeding.
Yeah. Well, I applaud what you do. Again, my wife, Peg, and I, we love our little furry friends. We have 2 Cocker Spaniels, as I mentioned, Jesse and Simon. My listeners feel like that they that they are sort of foster parents or God parents of our 2 dogs, because I talk about them all the time. But they become such a huge part of your life, and so I applaud what you do. And as I mentioned to you earlier, I learned about what you do through our mutual friend, Melissa Level with Ingalls. Ingalls does such a great job in our community, and so and Melissa just had a special event in her life recently as she got married. So what I want to do today is I'm going to send you a $1,000 contribution to help support what you're doing.
Wow.
In honor of my dear friend Melissa Level, and I know that she's been a big supporter of yours, but I want to help.
Yes, she has.
I want to help out, and I'm just so proud to call Melissa a friend.
Well, thank you so very much. Her support and the celebration of her marriage has been a tremendous gift to Rusty's legacy. And we're so very grateful to Melissa and to Ingalls, who has supported us throughout the years. So thank you so very much.
Well, thank you for what you do. Jeri Arledge with Rusty's Legacy. Again, that website is rustyslegacync.com, rustyslegacync.com. Jeri, again, thank you for your time today, and thank you for what you do in our community.
Thank you so very much. Thank you. Thank you.
That's it for this special weekend edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss Studios. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined my mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, join me on my YouTube channel. Be sure and like, comment, and subscribe. Just search for Joey Hudson. As always, thanks for spending a few minutes of your day with me. Do me a favor and forward this episode to a few friends. Just click on the share button and send to your contacts. We need to build an army of conservatives to win our country back, and we can do that by continuing to share the truth with our friends and family. Keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line 864-477-JOEY. Email to joey@joeyhudson.com, and I love your messages on the MyPillow message line. Again, that's 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Be sure and take advantage of the MyPillow special, just $14.88 on the standard MyPillows when you use promo code Joey. Order online at mypillow.com or call 800-893-4053. We're back again tomorrow and hope you'll plan to join us. Until then, remember, God's got this. He's still in control.